Welcome to the Vue Diagram tutorial. In this video, I will explore the various node types available in the Syncfusion Vue Diagram component. I will also explain the different shapes available in each node type. First, I open my existing Vue application where I have added a diagram component with height, width, and nodes properties. To learn more about integrating the diagram component into a Vue application, please check the Getting Started video linked in the card above and the description below. Let me run this application using the command npm run dev. The diagram canvas is rendered with the defined height and width. The node is rendered with the default type basic and its default shape rectangle. The Vue diagram supports 9 different node types. For the HTML, text, image, native, and path node types, you need to create custom shape data. The basic, flow, UML, and BPMN node types come with their own sets of built-in shapes. I will explain each of these. First, let me show you the different shapes available in the basic node type. We have rectangle, ellipse, triangle, and many more. For details on all supported shapes, please refer to the documentation page linked in the video description. These shapes are used to represent geometrical information visually. The default shape is rectangle. Let me customize the shape type to ellipse. In the nodes collection, define the shape property with an object. Within it, define the type property and set the value as basic. Although basic is the default node type, I recommend adding this type property for better clarity. Define the shape property and set the string value, ellipse. In the annotations property, set the content to basic and ellipse for better understanding. In the diagram canvas, you can see the basic node with an ellipse shape. Next, I will show you how to create a flow node type. It has built-in shapes such as terminator, process, and decision. These shapes are used to represent a process flow, like for analyzing and designing. The default shape is process. Let me create a flow node type with a terminator shape. In the nodes collection, copy and paste the existing node. Change the node ID to node 2, offset X value to 450, and set the annotation content to flow and terminator. Set the shape's type property to flow and shape to terminator. You can see the flow node type with a terminator shape. Next, I will show you how to create a text node. Add another node in the node collection with a proper ID, position, and dimensions. To customize the node shape, define the shape property with an object. Within it, define the type property with the string value text and content property to text node. To customize the background style of the node, define the style property by setting the fill color to none. Set the font size to 14. You can see a text node is created with the specified styles. To create an image node, copy and paste the existing node object and change the ID, position, and dimensions. In the shape property, change its type to image. Remove the content property and define the source property with an image URL. You can bind any image source detail to this property. In the style property, remove the font size customization since it is not applicable to this node type. See, an image node is created. If you want to create a node with HTML elements, you can use an HTML type. To demonstrate in the nodes collection, I add another node object, change the ID and position. In the shape property, I change its type to HTML and set the content property with button element details. See, an HTML node is created. If you would like to create a node with geometric values, that is, without any specific standard figures like height or width, you can use the path type. For this example, I am going to create a node with a butterfly shape. First, I add a node to showcase this type. I change the ID, position, and dimensions. In the shape property, I change its type to path and define the data property with a butterfly graphic path value. You can see a butterfly shape node created here. You can add an SVG node in a similar fashion. Add a node object with an ID, position, and dimensions. Set the shape type to native and the content property to an SVG element. Define the style property with fill property value none so that you can see the SVG content alone in the node without any background color. A node has been added based on the SVG element. Next, I will show you how to create a BPMN node type. Here is the list of built-in BPMN shapes. Each shape is used to represent an internal business procedure in a graphical notation and enable you to communicate the procedures in a standard manner. Let me create an event business process node. Events are represented in circles. There are 3 event types: start, intermediate, and end. Event triggers are notated as icons inside the circle, and they represent the specific details of the process. The default event trigger is none. Let me create an end event with a message end trigger. In the Syncfusion Vue Diagrams import statement, import the BPMN Diagrams module. To inject this module in the export default scope, use the provide option, pass diagram as the key, and set BPMN Diagrams as the value. In the Nodes collection, add a new node object and set the ID, position, and dimensions. Set the shape type to BPMN and shape to event. To set the trigger, define the event property and set the event to end. Define the trigger property with the string value message. A BPMN node type is added with the end message event trigger. Next, I'll show you how to create a UML node type. Let me create a simple patient history class diagram. In the Nodes collection, add a new node object and set the ID and position. Set the shape type to UML classifier. Define the classifier property with the string value class. This specifies to draw the UML class diagram. Set the class shape property with an object. A class diagram contains information such as class name, attributes, and methods. Let me create them now. Within the object, define the name property with the string value patient. Set the attributes property with an array of objects. Define a name property with the string value accepted, and a type property with date. Similarly, add another attribute with the name sickness and type history. Set the methods property with an array of objects. You can create one or more method details here, so to make this simple, I add one method detail. Define the name property with a string value, get history, and the history type. A UML class diagram node is created with the name, attributes, and method details. The same way, you can create UML diagram nodes such as interface and enumeration. That's how easy it is to create different types of nodes in the Syncfusion Vue Diagram component. You can download the example used in this video from the GitHub link in the description below. I have also included a link where you can check if you're eligible for our community license, which gives you a free license key for our entire Vue suite. If you found this video useful, click the like button and subscribe to our channel to get notifications about new videos. Thanks for watching.